is our video recap of Monday, September 21st. So this morning we had a morning meeting. We are now learning how to say hello in both Spanish and Portuguese. After our morning meeting, the students took a spelling test for week 2. After they took their spelling test, I reminded them to either send a picture of their spelling test to Class Dojo or to send it to my email so that I can grade it throughout the week. We also had time for the students to work on 2 different types of tests. They had Unit 2, a vocabulary quiz they needed to complete, as well as a Frindle mini assessment. We did not have time for us to work on the Florida Ready work. We saved that for the end of the day, so students didn't have to work on Florida Ready during their ELA time. Also, because of the sake of time, I also canceled the Zoom conferences for Monday and for Tuesday, so students could just focus on their assessments and Florida Ready. That means I'll only be seeing my students once this week, and that'll be on Thursday and Friday for us to practice fluency. At 9 o'clock, we had writing time. I gave the students notes on interjections. So far, we've gone over what are conjunctions, what are prepositions, and what are interjections. We have also been practicing our cursive writing. I've been also teaching the children about ideas. Last week, it was about how to visualize an idea that you're going to write about so that you can then get started writing. Today, it was about how to become from fuzzy to more focused, how to take an idea and to really think about the word choice and how you describe it to make it become a little bit more realistic and come to life. We used an example of an exemplar text from Esperanza Rising, and then after the students were done writing, I shared an example of how I applied that to my own writing, and then we heard from some other students how they used word choice to really embellish their writing and create a sense of atmosphere. The students had lunch on their own and homeroom PE on their own. Since today is a day that we do not have resource, we spent our resource time doing a quiz-is for geography to prepare them. They then took a geography quiz on Google Forms. I gave the students independent reading for them to read a little bit more about geography and then assigned them primary source homework. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video at this point so that I can show you the homework. So this is the example of the more to know that I've given the students where they can learn a little bit more about the geography that we learned about this time around. So just some good reading. It's very quick and it's just going to build more background knowledge for them. The activity that they had to work on for their sources is that a big part of geography is understanding what a primary and a secondary source is. So for primary sources, the students are looking at maps because we were just talking about geography. And I'm having the students complete this as a homework assignment in social studies, and it will go into Skyward. The students are looking at a late 17th century French mapmaker's version of the world. And then after they read a little bit about it, they're going to look closer at the map. They're going to circle the title, draw a box around the United States, highlight the names of the oceans, and draw arrows pointing to each continent. There's some questions for them to answer, like who made this map? What does this map show? When was this map made? Where did the person who made this map live? Why was this map made? And how does this map show information about the world? Now you can either print this and write directly on it, or you can use the comment feature to write your answers along the comment side. I would suggest if they're going to do that to make sure that they make their own copy of the homework first. Once they make a copy, they can change it to their student name. And then they can begin writing inside of it so that it's not interrupting anybody else's comments as well. And then they can continue to add the comments as they go. The other part is why do you think, who most likely used this map, and why do you think this map includes a lot of smaller map projections? Again, your conclusion, your text evidence. You're then looking at a satellite image of Earth, again, going through the process of reading about it, actively looking at the map, describing what you see, circling the United States, and then answering those questions again. Who created this? What does the satellite image show? When was it made? Where are the satellite images of Earth taken? Why was the satellite image made? And how were these images used? And then asking more questions like, why are there no lines of latitude or longitude on this image? How might this image look differently if it were taken from a different place above Earth? And so again, to answer those questions, you can either print and write directly on here, or you can add comments along the side as well. Finally, I want them to think about both of those sources. How are the map and the image alike? How are the map and the image different? And how are both the map and the image important to understanding the world in spatial terms? We then move on to the second half of geography, which was then about U.S. geography specifically. So the students are looking at a map of General Washington's farm of Mount Vernon, going through the same process of reading, marking the map, and answering some questions about the map. And then they're going to look at a bird's eye view of George Washington's Mount Vernon estate. Same process, they'll read about it, they'll mark the image, and then they'll answer some questions about it. Once when they're done, they're going to compare both sources. How are the map and the image alike and different? What was the purpose for creating the map or the image? And how are both the map and the image important to understanding a place in spatial terms? This homework will not be due until Monday, November 28th, but the students should be working on this throughout the school week. Okay, so I've just gone over the homework assignment. Coming back into our schedule, we had math. One of the changes in math is that if a student is in gifted math, their math time is now not going to begin until 11:45 and it will go until 12:45. That means that 15-minute break they have, I would highly suggest they use it for reading. So have a book nearby and do independent reading. I have many books that I've been giving them as ebooks that they can also use during their independent reading time. But if you're reading for at least 45 minutes a day, it's going to improve your reading scores. So use that 15 minutes of time before you start Mrs. McNichols' class to make sure that you're reading. Or maybe use it as flex time to catch up on assignments that you haven't been able to catch up on throughout the week. This means then that their math class will end at 12:45. Once they then come back from math, it'll be science or ELA. Today it was science. We went over science review, just making sure that we understood specifically what we needed to know inside of the textbook. We answered questions on pages 63 through 66. I gave them some independent time for working on that. And then afterwards, we went over the answers for 63 through 66. After that, we then went over just a couple more practice problems to really get them into the hang of how these questions are going to be asked. One other thing I provided them with is an extra science study guide, which I'll pull up for you right now. So in every student's email, they have access to this Google slide presentation called Unit 1, What is Science? Just an additional review, extra review, not going to be graded, but some people have testing anxiety, and I know that the science test, above all tests, is one of the most trickiest of the tests. So that's why I like to provide them with more than enough opportunity to be prepared so that they feel confident coming into that test tomorrow. So what is included in here is first just some background knowledge. There are some short passages that go over the key vocabulary and content that they should have gotten from all of the readings that they did in their science textbook. There's even some questions to test them to see how well they would do on answering questions related to that content. They can write their answers down on paper or dry erase, and then when it's time for them to actually check their answers, if they hit the escape key after they're in present mode, down in the comments section is where you're going to find the actual answers for each of the questions. So this is just an opportunity for students, if they want to just do some extra practice in reading tonight, to feel a little bit more prepared about what they're going to be doing tomorrow for their What is Science benchmark test. So I've now gone over all of that information. The only thing that's left is the end of the day we filled in our planner. For our planner, the students were specifically writing down that they have Unit 3 vocabulary. That's the new week of vocabulary words for them to work on. Today in language arts, they completed a Frindle quiz, they took a vocab quiz, and they took a spelling quiz. In reading, we specifically went over pages 38 and 39 in Florida Ready. For spelling, I would suggest that the students work on doing a pretest. That is something that I'm going to suggest every Monday, is just taking the pretest to determine how many of the words you already know. This week we're going to be focusing on digraphs, so we're going to be looking at EA and AI and OW and so forth. In math, there was no homework for 5th grade, but 6th grade homework was pages 51 and 52 in my math class. In science, we reviewed for the benchmark test, and they worked inside their textbook on pages 63 and 66 because they have a test tomorrow. And then finally, in social studies, they took a review, and then they took the actual quiz for geography, and now they have homework they'll be working on for primary sources that'll be due by Monday, September 28th. I won't have any other extra videos today, as halfway through the day I had to leave early, so I won't be able to do any more videos after this. I'm going to make sure that I can take care of myself so I'm ready for tomorrow. So I thank you very much for your flexibility and your patience, and I hope you guys have the best day. Thank you.